Hey, welcome back to the Nebraska Prep Zone podcast. I'm Stu Pospisil. Mike Patterson has the week off while doing other assignments. We're going to run down the 7 state championships coming up in Nebraska high school football. All look to be very even contests, and I think I'm going to be watching 6 of them. So Friday night out at Kearney, it's going to be the 6-man final. It's Lincoln Parkview. Number 4 in my rankings at 10-1 against number 6 Pawnee City 9-2. In this one, Parkview beat Pawnee City already this year, 43-16. I'm going to go with Parkview once again to get the repeat. First state title for Parkview it would be in football, and it would follow their basketball title from last year. So Parkview Christian right now is on an upswing in boys sports, and the Patriots are favored to win this one on Friday night at UNK. Next Monday, we go to Memorial Stadium. First game of the day will be the 8-man-2 final. Howells Dodge is the returning champion from 8-man-1. The Jaguars have dropped to 8-man-2 this year. Undefeated. Their winning streak, the Jaguars, is at 25 games. They're going to play Hitchcock County, first-time finalist. Hitchcock's sitting there. The Falcons are 3rd in my rankings, 12-0 overall. They have the Gatson brothers running their offense quite well. But Howells Dodge is favored to, in my mind, to win this and extend its winning streak to 26 games. Lance Brester, very good running back. Howells Dodge has just kind of steamrolled everybody back in eastern Nebraska. Took care of a good Dundee County Stratton team that Hitchcock County was familiar with. So again, Jaguars to extend their winning streak to 26 with 2 straight state titles. An 8-man-1, that's a 2:45 game. 2 first-time finalists. Number 3, Neely Oakdale, sitting at 11-1, and so is number 4, Clarkson Lee, 11-1. Good Northeast Nebraska battle. Although these teams have not played each other, Clarkson Lee lost to Cross County by just a couple points. Neely Oakdale lost to Howells Dodge in the season opener. The Warriors have won their next 11. Aiden Keister, national record-setting quarterback in 8-man for Neely Oakdale. Kyle Kasich for Clarkson Lee is powering the Patriots offense there. I'm going to go with Neely, my pre-tourney pick, my pre-playoff pick to win it all. But good seasons for both teams, and if Howells Dodge and Clarkson Lee would come up with wins, that would be a strong showing for the old Cornhusker Conference along Nebraska Highway number 91. And then we'll hold off on the Class A final until the very end, keep you in suspense a little bit. Going to Tuesday, the 10:15 a.m. game is number 1 Norfolk Catholic, 12-0. The Knights were in last year's state final, losing to Fremont Bergen with an early onslaught by the Bergen Knights. And Norfolk Catholic's going to be playing number 7 Harrington Cedar Catholic, 9-3. One of those losses was 14-0 against Norfolk Catholic at the end of the regular season. At that time, you didn't know what to make of Cedar at 6-3. They've allowed a total of 17 points in regulation in making it to the final. I think they're going to give Norfolk Catholic another defensive tussle. Norfolk Catholic's got some banged up players, but I think the experience of being in Memorial last year and just the way the Knights have played all year with Jeff Beller having all the state championship experience of coaching finals games, I look for Norfolk Catholic to win this one and finish a wire-to-wire number 1 campaign. C1 is at 2:45 on Tuesday at the stadium. A matchup we've been waiting for all year. Number 1 Aurora, number 2 Pierce, both 12-0. Both were runners-up last year. Aurora was in Class B, moved down to C1 because of enrollment. Pierce was in C1 last year as well, losing to Columbus Lakeview. Pierce was kind of banged up in that game. I think both teams here look to be very healthy. Carlos Collazo, 2,000-yard running back for Aurora, is back after missing 3 games with injury. Had he played those 3 games, he might be pushing 3,000 with a great state final. I look for this one to be fairly high scoring. I look for Aurora, again, to be a wire-to-wire #1 team and get a title. The last time they fell into C1, it was with Baylor Shireman. The first year they were in C1, they won the whole shebang. I look for it to happen again this time in this cycle. The final game of that night and of the playoff final series, again, a matchup of undefeateds. #1 Bennington in Class B, #2 Omaha Gross, both 12-0. They both have solid quarterbacks. Trey Bird for Bennington, Colby Duncan for Gross. Jake Garcia powers Gross's attack running-wise. Nick Colvert for Bennington, 1,000-yard rusher as well. Again, I think maybe experience, Bennington having been there last year, working off a 25-game winning streak. Great seasons by both teams. I look for the Badgers to get the double in Class B. And then finally, the game that I think the state's been waiting for in Class A all year. It's #1 Gretna, 12-0 against once beaten Omaha Westside, 11-1. We saw a game last year that turned out to be 7-3. Gretna turning back Westside on the goal line in the final seconds. Is it going to be that low scoring this year? Is it going to be higher scoring? Partly it depends on the weather conditions, and looks like it's going to be in the around freezing, maybe a little colder. Hard to say who that favors. You've got 2 dynamite quarterbacks. You've got for Westside, Anthony Rizak, who started last year's game. For Gretna, Zane Flores, Class A's career passing leader, Oklahoma State bound quarterback. The running backs, Jamez Ross for Westside. Over on the other side, it's Isaiah Weber for Gretna. Good receivers. I think it's going to come down to the lines in this one. And from what I've seen all year, I think Gretna's maybe has been a little underrated. I like their defense overall, and I'm going to go with Gretna to, again, win in Memorial Stadium and extend on their field their winning streak. Obviously, last year their title was vacated for use of an ineligible player. That came months after the state final took place. So Gretna certainly wants to be able to have the trophy in its possession. Westside wants some payback from last year because they had been stopped so close to their first title since 1982, or in 3 years, excuse me. They had picked up one actually in 2020 at home, but for being in Memorial Stadium, they've not won in Memorial Stadium. So can they get past that? I say it's Gretna. So that's how I see the playoff finals across the state. Mike will be back with me the next time. And after Thanksgiving, we will preview the basketball season across the state as well. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you the next time on the Nebraska Prep Zone podcast.